For this video to make sense, allow me to give some backstory. When I make a video, I like to make videos that stand the test of time. A video essay can be watched essentially forever, kinda like a TV show. Something you could in theory watch over and over again. That's usually how I structure my videos. Shortly after finishing my last essay video, I began work on the next one, which was going to be on Bayonetta Origins, because what else can I talk about? But after making that video, the open network beta for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds released, and truthfully I had a really great time playing it. Me and my friends gathered together and played for pretty much the entire weekend from August 29th to the 31st, having logged around 10 hours or so, and played both the open world matches and the special Joker event. If you want a miniature review, I think the game has a lot going for it. The visuals are a treat if you're playing on PS5 or PC, that is. Going through these different areas in Sonic's history and recognizing them was a really cool thing for longtime Sonic fans. The character roster is going to be awesome, with tons of not only Sonic classics, but Sega and other third parties as well, with Joker from Persona 5 being the first example. The vehicle and perk customization is also really well done too, and it feels like there's genuine merit for choosing all kinds of combos. Growing up with Riders and seeing the Extreme gear back was also really cool, as it had been years since the last time we had saw not only that, but Jet and the gang as well. It doesn't come without its flaws though, as the connection was sometimes really shitty. You'd get disconnected or communication errors pretty often, which will hopefully be fixed by launch. But yeah, overall I'd consider the game to be a really fun time, and I do want to get it either at launch or sometime during the holiday season. However, that's not the point of the video. Throughout my time playing, I checked Twitter to get a grasp of what everyone's thoughts were, and while I saw a lot of people having fun with the game, I also saw a lot of people just comparing the title to other racing games. Not to throw anyone under the bus, but I'm gonna do it. Even in my friend group, my friend Casper, who you might know for making the great thumbnails on the channel, was comparing it to Mario Kart World, saying how much better it was, and I just didn't get it at all. It wasn't because I preferred Mario Kart World over Cross Worlds, it was because I genuinely like both games. To get to where I'm at currently, let me go on a tangent. I fucking hate video game discussion. And I don't mean casually talking to someone about your favorite games or what someone's thoughts on X game are. Discussion is almost always a good thing, even if it can be negative. I myself am actually quite negative. Talking about video games is quite literally what I do on this channel, but that's not the kind of discussion I'm referring to. No, I'm of course talking about that Bird app discussion. I'm a Twitter user practically to the point of addiction. It's my coffee in the morning, my melatonin at night, my activity instead of doing my job. It's great even with all the terrible changes. However, gaming Twitter is genuinely ass. Things like Assassin's Creed Shadow, Black Samurai, female protagonists in gaming, the rise of AI, Switch 2 sales, all those were just some of the recent discussions I remember, but whatever it is, it's tiresome. A Black Samurai is dope as hell, women are great protagonists, AI sucks, and the Switch 2 is great. It's really not that hard. It's examples like that that just make me annoyed, and sadly, titles like Cross Worlds have fallen into the stupid Bird app discussion realm. The issue is just how idiotic and meaningless the conversations are. None of them have ever had any good backbone to them and are almost always just used as a form of rage bait or to tear others down for enjoying something. My point with all of this is video game discourse on the internet is terrible to engage in. Racing games have taken a large focal point for that over the year, and the first one I'd like to discuss for this argument is none other than Mario Kart World.
What is that? Oh shit, what is that?
To give you my 2 cents, I enjoy Mario Kart World a lot. I've logged over 70 hours into it so far, and it was undoubtedly the right choice to launch the Switch 2 with. Knockout Tour is a blast, especially when playing with friends. The character roster is awesome, it's a visual behemoth. Of course, the game's not perfect by any means. No 200cc, no tracker for free roam, intermissions, no real standard 3 laps, but hey, it is what it is. 8 Deluxe was such a masterpiece, so why not go in a different direction entirely? I think they've done a mostly good job with World, and it will only get better with future updates, assuming that they do that. Now this game on the discourse side, literal hell. From the moment the game was revealed, even the split seconds in the initial Switch 2 reveal trailer, it was already at the head of controversy. When the April Direct occurred and the price was revealed to be $80, that sent people into a frenzy, and if you want my 2 cents on that subject, I don't mind it. Pepe Opinion Rant Part 2, Video Game Pricing. My take on the price of literally anything is that it's entirely dependent on the consumer, aka me and you. Working in retail, especially the times of tariffs and price hikes on about everything, what you choose to buy is now more important than ever. Money is more tight than it's ever been before, and it unfortunately doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. So what you buy is heavily dependent on consumer knowledge and satisfaction. Also working retail, customers have no knowledge whatsoever, like genuinely shocking levels of stupidity, but I digress. So the subject of what is worth spending your hard-earned dollars on to me is always dependent on what you look for within the product. Taking our example of Mario Kart World, it's Mario Kart. I'm going to be playing this game for years to come, so a payment of $80 to me feels justified because I am experiencing this product for years. I tend to judge my payments off of how my experience was. I enjoyed Mario vs. Donkey Kong a lot, and best of all, I didn't pay for that shit. I did enjoy Mario Wonder, but to me that game I didn't feel was worth $60 from an experience standpoint. But there's also enough content to keep you busy that, yeah, I would say that it is worth $60. I don't typically enjoy RPGs, but an RPG is absolutely worth $60 because of how much content you get. I paid 20 bucks for Gravity Rush, and I would have paid 100. You get the point by now. Case in point, how much a game offers you and your enjoyment and usage with the product, in my eyes, should be the basis of your decision on buying said product. Now getting back to World, the price point was the major subject, but there was that $50 bundle option to mitigate the price. So it is what it is. But then with things I mentioned earlier such as intermissions, it's been subject to discourse from the moment it was born. While some of those are deserved, you can imagine it gets pretty tiring. Most recent subject has been that the game is seemingly dead, and like, come on dude, it's fucking Mario Kart, it's not dying. The game is definitely not dead by any circumstance, despite what some rando online will tell you. Knockout Tour is usually always full, there's an entire single player packed with content, it's still Mario Kart at the end of the day. It's not dead. There's a lot of dumb talk on the game, some deserved, but a majority of it isn't. But in regards to this video, that's unfortunately really only where we start. At the Game Awards last year, we got a sneak peek at Sonic's big title for 2025, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. To completely be a hypocrite for a moment, we had just come off Team Sonic Racing, a playable game, but nothing with much oomph to it. The hope was for these games to return to the magnitude of Sonic and Sega All-Stars, or even Riders, and it would seem we got the best of both worlds. I gave my mini review of the game at the start of the video, but to reiterate, the game is a ton of fun. Again, not without its faults, but the promise and upside is a lot higher than the negatives, and it seems like the devs really have a lot of care for making the game as grand as it can be, with both free and paid updates. However, just as Mario Kart had, this game was no short of controversy and discourse, actually with Mario Kart itself. The entire point of this video is comparison and why it's stupid, so it's time to dive into that starting here. It's damn near impossible to see a conversation about this game without seeing it compared to Mario Kart World. People are making pros and cons lists, discussing price, rosters, modes, etc., and to me, it makes no damn sense because at the end of the day, having played both of these two games, they are really nothing alike mechanically. The general premise is the same, yes, people racing cars with items, but playing the two, the comparisons really make no sense. For one, they control different. Mario Kart World definitely has an emphasis on freedom. They want you to go at your own pace, not to be bound by anything. It's even evident in modes that are more tightly knit, like Knockout Tour or the Grand Prix. There's all these intermissions and ways to go, you hardly see Lakitu unless you fall off. Cross Worlds, on the other hand, is a more knit, crafted, arcadey experience. If you want to use comparison, it's more akin to something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but more in its 3-lap routine structure, not so much actually playing the game. Anyways, with that though, the best part is that both of these are genuinely great times. There's enough cake for everyone to eat, and differences for everyone to like certain aspects better of the games. World has things Sonic doesn't, and Sonic has things Mario Kart doesn't. Actually playing the games, you'll learn that they are two different horses, and beyond them being a kart racer, have no real comparison with one another. It'd be like comparing Crash Team Racing and Nickelodeon Kart, like what the hell's the point? Putting those in a discussion with Mario Kart and Sonic Racing is like putting Arby's and Quiznos to McDonald's and Burger King. With all that being said, however, there's still one more title to talk about.
Oh my god!
Now this title admittedly is the hardest to talk of the three as it's not out yet, and there hasn't been a solid way to play it or analyze beyond what Nintendo has shown us. Revealed in the April Switch 2 Direct, at first it was kind of a confusing move. It was awesome that Air Ride was coming back, but releasing the same year as Mario Kart and Sonic almost seemed like a shot in the foot. But then you see who's directing it at the very end of the trailer, and suddenly, everything is alright. It was almost like, and this might be shocking, it's an entirely different game that stands on its own legs. Time passes and we get an entire direct on the game, and again it looks incredible. It's hard to grasp how the game will be like until we actually get it, so it's only really off of footage shown, but things like the city trial or the speed you go in the game, it kind of feels like a fighting game in a way. But just like our other two titles, this game has been no short of controversy in comparison. The most recent was the reveal of the amiibos being $50, which, yeah, I get it, it was a little ridiculous, I was crying personally. But in comparison, it's stupid. The game for one isn't even out yet as of this video's upload, so how are we supposed to know? But just off of look at gameplay, you can clearly see that this game has loads of differences to the others just in control alone. Now with all this being said, what exactly is my point? The title of the video is Stop Comparing Games, but what do I mean when I say stop comparing games? To be honest with you, I had no damn clue when I first wrote this. This video has gone through a few different renditions for various reasons, but thankfully as a part of that I was able to be harsh on myself and revise what I was saying. When I say stop comparing games, I'm referring to discourse that is unneeded and purposefully weighs down on another game. I don't think there's anything wrong with comparing games when it's a meaningful conversation. If you're comparing two games in a similar genre because, hey, they're similar, that's fine. Really, any of this discourse is fine, and that was my biggest hurdle when making this video, was really at the end of the day, who cares? And having opinions on what game you like better is also fine too, there's literally nothing wrong with it. My issue though is when it's meaningless conversation used purely for bait, or to just air out a stupid thought. If you prefer one game's style or gameplay over another, perfectly fine. But saying something like, oh, one game has better moral practices by the devs, when what I just said earlier very clearly shows that none of that is relevant for any game, or even something like trying to compare how one game's gameplay is better when the footage of the game you're shitting on was recorded by someone who's purposely playing like ass, or set to a boring moment to make the other game look good, like, what the fuck are we even doing? So applying that to games we're talking about today, I think the discourse of dragging, say, Sonic Crossworlds down in favor of Mario Kart when there's no real backbone to it beyond just spewing out nonsense is what needs to be stopped. Making greater than charts and saying that the characters aren't as good, or purposely recording an intensely bad video game moment, something like that, it's just a waste of time, to be quite frank. In truth, all these games have flaws, and all of them are also great and will be great. Instead of trying to make comparisons just because they all happen to have characters who race on karts, we should be celebrating 3 really fun games. Not to mention, if you've actually played these games, you can clearly tell they all control differently, even down to basic functions like drifting. You can have your favorites and have discussions about all 3, and honestly, at the end of the day, these are all just video games. Really, it's not that deep, but that's also kind of my point. Making charts on why one game is better than the other and including just dumb reasons like the game has better characters or using it for bait purposes, it's really not that deep, I promise you. Me personally, I've been enjoying Mario Kart World. I enjoyed what I played of Sonic Crossworlds so far, and I will enjoy what I play of Air Riders when that releases in November. To wrap that up in one sentence, live your life like the guy staring out at the sunshine through the window, not the hunched over sad guy crying. But anyways, that's all from me. I usually don't make these videos that date themselves, as I like my videos to be watchable at any time, but this was a topic I wanted to talk about, and I imagine this will hold up well for years to come as more video games release. If you guys have anything to say on the matter, I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. Maybe there was something I missed that you can put me onto, or maybe you disagree. Tell me whatever you want. But with that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.